everybody. My name is Alex, and what do you know what is the topic today? That is, every world in the country had a flag. And so, what is our flag country? It's Vietnam, and it has a star, a yellow star in the middle, and the red flag. Now today, I'll tell you the story of the flags. The most earliest flags are the smallest flags, like the youngest flags, like the Republic of Seychelles. That's a small island in the Indian Ocean. Another small country represented for the flag is Nauru. Nauru is in the Pacific Ocean. It belongs to the Australian coastline. The star underneath represents the place where Nauru sits. The line represents for the equator, and the blue part is for the Pacific Ocean. And so many of the flags have many symbols, many things to discover. Like the same flags like Monaco and Indonesia. I think Poland is their other countries. But their scale is not the right thing. The Indonesian flag is 2.3 and the Monaco flag is 3.5, while the Chad and the Romanian flag are similar, but the Romanian is the most darkest color, blue, and it is 3.5, and Chad is just 2.1. That's right. Every country had its own single and quality, and they decided to vote who will win and who will lose. Like Chad votes for Romania, the same flag, while Romania votes for Chad. They decided to meet for a constellation. So Chad wins or Romania wins, then the Romania will win. Here, we are in Asia. The most would have the most countries in the world, the biggest continent in the world. Sorry, the second biggest, but the most populated. I mean, Africa is the most biggest. Sometimes people believe that Africa is the most biggest, and people believe that Asia is the most biggest. Now let's back up a little bit. Do you remember that Chad and Romania had to vote, and then they have to go for a constellation? And if who will win, they have rules to protect their law and government community, while Chad's rules are more important, and their efficiency, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but efficiency, that is the Romanian word for it. It's the constellation. That's right. Do you remember that Asia is the second biggest? And sometimes people said Asia is the biggest. Sometimes people said Africa is the biggest. Well, they are both true, but the more correct answer is that Asia is bigger than Africa. Google said that sometimes Africa is sometimes bigger than Asia. Just ask Russia. There are two Russias that can fit in Africa, but they began to stretch using free both of the Russia. Why is this true? Well, think of this. All the European countries fit in the Africa African country. Yes, but what if other Asian countries, I mean the Asia countries, fit inside the Africa? Then it will be a major disaster, right? That's right. And because of this, we know that we have lived in the continent of Asia, and we know that we live in the second biggest continent. But what about their flag? The whole world flag looks like none of your business. None of you think that it is the same flag as us. But what if I told you that the most popular flags will include the world flag? That's right. It's a picture of the world in a circle or a globe map that is in some leaves and weeds, and it is all white and the outer covering is all blue. Can you imagine this? Just look at it. The world national flag is in the future, not today, not in the present. But in the present, there are many flags we can explore. In the future, no one knows what continents will form next. You know the 8th continent that is under the seabed? Not the 8th continent. I'm joking, but it's still a mystery that in the future, scientists believe that the 8th continent will form because of Pangea. But don't worry, my friends, because in the future, Pangea will break apart soon because of gravity, and it bounce and pull apart many times until it comes into the national world. But what about the flags I'm talking before? Just look at it. Flags in the future will be different. You know that. And our flag in Asian will also look like different. Every flag will be different. But sometimes there are empires and sometimes there are other countries' flags that are not the same. But what about Morocco and Indonesia I'm talking before? That's right. You have to remember these countries. One country is 2 to 3 and one country is 3 to 2. I mean 3 to 5. Now here comes the most oldest country, Denmark. It has its flag because of Norway, Sweden, and other countries that were first. Because those in the Pangea, the first country is Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Don't include Finland though. Finland is the second most oldest country in the world, and it also includes France and Germany. Until the 80s, Rome became the most popular, the third country, and that's when there were wars in the Greece and ancient Rome. But surprisingly, the flags of the world have not changed for over thousands of years. And also, for thousands of years, we don't know how the flags will look like or how they seem to be like. Just look at it. Like in the wars, people decided to change flags. Like the German into the German Empire, the Russian into the Russian Empire, and also everything looks the same. As in the future, you don't know how the countries will change, but you know how the flags will change. Now try this. If you want to know more about flags, draw your flag country. It's Vietnam. It has a star in the middle. It has a star. It is red all over. Now try to look at this. Now Now, if you don't mind, then we here are some draw some other countries' flags. It will be hard, right? There are many flags in the world, but most flags are not popular, and most flags are popular, like the stripes. Only the flag with a purple color is Dominica of the Republic in the Atlantic Ocean near the coast of North America and South America. It has a purple belly on its body, and also it represents for the bird in the Dominican Republic. No other country had this bird. It's only purple. There are only 305 of these species, meaning they are endangered. But tourists also attract very much animals to discover. Now let's back up a little bit. Now what about the flags? Each flag had a different animal. Like in Vietnam, we have water buffalo, and in other countries we don't know how. But it's quite simple that we know that other countries in the world today. Guess are the flags in the future? What will it be like? Guess in your mind, and if you don't mind anymore, then travel in the Google and see how the sizes, the flags, and everything in the world looks like. Or guess what will be in the future? No one knows, but you have to guess, or that round will end. Now, this is the end, and so it's time. Let me say thank you for listening, and goodbye everybody.